.130 back again to break down the Big East Conference. A lot of people continue to bash the Big East. They don't deserve a BCS berth anymore. They're too soft. They're too weak. They still got West Virginia. They still got South Florida. They still got a pretty good Rutgers and Pittsburgh team. They got Syracuse. I mean, Syracuse, come on. It's Greg Paulus this year, baby. You never know what's going to happen with the Orange. But I apologize. Syracuse is not going to be good this year. So that's one team you don't have to worry about in the Big East. So there's 7 other teams that could make a run for the Big East title. But let's go ahead and start off with my preseason MVP pick in the Big East. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and go to Cincinnati with Marty Gilliard. Guy is a great athlete at receiver. He's going to be a top 10, top 20 pick in the NFL draft next season for 2010. Tony Pike's a pretty darn good quarterback throwing him the ball. They have 9 starters returning on offense. It'll be a fun team to watch this year in Cincinnati, but one thing you might want to keep an eye on, they lose 10 starters on defense. So Cincinnati might not be a huge threat in the Big East with a lot of their defense lost for Brian Kelly, but they're still going to be a very good team in Bearcat land. Other candidates you want to watch out for, obviously Tony Pike's one guy. George Selvey from South Florida, still the sack master extraordinaire for Jim Leavitt. And then obviously go to Morgantown. People are starting to forget about Steve Slayton. Why? Because the 5'6" Noel Devine is taking over Mountaineer land. The guy continues to rack up yardage like crazy, and this year he'll have Jared Brown in the backfield with him. Brown, I would say he's probably the most underrated quarterback in the Big East, maybe in the nation this year. He has backed up Pat White for years, continues to get better and better. It'll be fun to watch him and Noel Devine in the backfield along with the receiver Jock Sanders and the huge 6'8" West Lions. Best conference game of the year is going to be a Friday night at Nipper Stadium, West Virginia and Cincinnati. It's probably going to be a battle for first place and a possible battle for that BCS berth in the Big East this season. Marty Gilliard, West Lions, Tony Pike, Jared Brown. Talent all along the offensive side of the ball. Both teams' defenses maybe a little suspect. It could be a high-scoring affair, but it's going to be fun to watch, especially on a Friday night game on ESPN in the Big East. Best non-conference game, I have to say it's about time these two teams start to play. South Florida and Florida State. Battle of the teams in Florida in the Seminole State, but it's going to be in Tallahassee. It's going to be a tough game for the Bulls. They do not do well on the road, especially in hostile environments. They'll face one at Doak Campbell against the Seminoles this year. Christian Ponder and Matt Grothe. That'll be a good matchup to watch at the quarterback position. My favorites in the Big East, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, West Virginia, South Florida could be a team that could sneak up on some people, but a sleeper you might want to watch out for, it's in Piscataway. Rutgers has another great team coming back for Greg Schiano. They do lose Kenny Britt and a lot of talent on the offensive side of the ball, but they still had the tenacity and the firepower on offense and defense to get things done at the birthplace of college football. That's right, at Rutgers. Team that could disappoint this year, it could be Pittsburgh. They do not have a set quarterback yet. Pat Bostic and Bill Stoll still going back and forth, and Dave Wanstad, I don't think he's ever figured out what the heck he's doing in the college ranks after leaving the NFL. Pittsburgh, they've had a lot of talent. LaShawn McCoy's gone. That could be a big blow to this offense this year. Scott McKillop has gone as well on the defensive side of the ball, so Pittsburgh could be a team that could disappoint this year. Also look out for South Florida. They always seem to get a hot start and then sort of fall by the wayside a little bit once this season progresses. But I'm going to go ahead and take West Virginia as my favorite in the Big East. They've got too much talent on the offensive side of the ball. Pat White's not there anymore, but again, Jared Brown, I'd still say he's one of the most underrated quarterbacks in the nation. Jock Sanders, West Lions, Noel Devine, a pretty good 3-3-5 defense back this year for West Virginia. Morgantown fans, they're going to be happy with the way the West Virginia faithful are going to be playing this year. They could be looking at a pretty nice berth in the Orange Bowl this season. So that's the breakdown of the Big East Conference. I will be back in a little bit to break down the Big 12 Conference coming in this year. Will it be Texas or will it be Oklahoma? Could it be the Cowboys from Oklahoma State? They're charging as well. It's going to be a fun conference. Not as high scoring as last year, but it should still be pretty interesting to look out for. So, KITCHEL 22-130 signing off. Until next time, see you guys later.